If you are in the market for a dog bath that is adjustable, that you don't have to bend over in the yard, dirty up your bathtub, you want something that's simple and easy to use and saves your back, I've got the answer for you. I'm going to show you everything you need to know about this, exactly how to set it up, give you the pros and cons. So stay all the way to the end and I'll save those cons for last. Now, I definitely love to send my dogs to get groomed at the groomer and let the groomer handle everything, but that's not always perfect because sometimes you need a bath in between grooming times and sometimes you don't want to spend $100 or more in some places to get them groomed. But what I found is that just getting the hose with a little sprayer on it isn't always friendly for the dogs. So having a little bathtub like this can be pretty great. Let's start with the assembly. Setting this up took about 10 minutes. I had my son do it. He's really good at assembling things. So if it's a little bit harder for you to assemble things, it'll probably take you a little bit longer, but 10 minutes I think is going to be pretty much the average for most people. It comes with everything you need to assemble it and absolutely no tools are required. Everything is Velcro, so very, very easy to do. This is a rubbery material and all of this that seals it on is extremely strong Velcro. So even though the tub is completely filled with water, this is not going anywhere. It's not going to come undone. And then all of this frame is holding every bit of the water. Of course, you do want to be aware that once it's filled with water, it's not going to be easy to move. So put it where you want it before you start filling it with water or before it gets all the way filled with water. It is on wheels, so as I was saying, you can move it around, but when it's all the way full, it's super hard to push and pull. But because there are wheels on it, you can take it anywhere, store it wherever you need to, push it out wherever your hose is outside, or I guess you could even do this inside if you wanted to. But because of the wheels, it makes it super convenient to be able to utilize it anywhere. We've got a handle here that is pretty much like a wagon handle. It rotates back and forth so that you can easily, whatever position you're in, be able to use it and move the wheels. The wheels have a locking mechanism, but I'm telling you, if you've got it filled with water, it's very hard to get it to move. So that's not a huge thing, but you definitely can lock them. Only the front wheels lock. The back ones do not have the locking mechanism. When you are assembling it, before you start adding the water, you can put this all the way down. Oh, maybe don't pull it out that much. It's easier to get the dogs in that way, and then you can adjust it up as it's starting to fill with water. Once it's already filled with water, you do not want to start trying to adjust these. It has 4 levels. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And so if you're a taller person and you're trying to work, you can adjust it to your height so you're not bending over and hurting your back. Very, very handy. This is a little tray. It's just a piece of plastic that fits together like a puzzle. You can use it underneath here to store your stuff if you'd like. You can put it like that. You can turn it like this. It can be either direction, and that's not its only use case. If you are bathing a smaller dog, you can put this right here on the side, put them up here, do your scrubbing up of them, rubbing them down, and then you have this water to dip them in when you're done. You can take it apart and just do the bigger piece, so you can have this there and the dog getting wet in here, or you can just have the one little tiny piece to put your shampoos and whatnot on it. So multiple uses. And then when you're done, they have little pieces of Velcro on them so you can hang them here. These little Velcro things are so fantastic anywhere in your house. I have an entire huge package of these because you can use them for anything. Wrapping cords, storing things away, bundling up things you want to keep together. And a new use case for me is hanging things like this. Never thought to do that. So you can keep it like that and then stick them together so that it hangs nicely. When it's out of use, you can hang it. So it has multiple uses, and that's really quite handy. We also have pockets on each side. So you have 2 pockets. You can put whatever you want in here. I've got the little accessories, like this is a drainage hose. I'm not really sure what the best case usage for this is, but it does go in the little drainage hole right here. This goes on the outside of it, and you can drain water that way. I guess that would be helpful if you don't want it to go into, say, a driveway like we've got. You can put this in there and then remember these toys, and drain it over into the yard. So basically you can reuse the water to water your flower bed or whatever, but it's not really that long. And like I said, once this is filled with water, it's not really convenient to move it around. So I'm not really sure how useful this will be. I haven't found a use case for it, I can tell you that. We did try it both with and without it. It's just much more convenient to just unplug the thing and let it all drain. But you can put your shampoos, your brushes, whatever you need in here, especially if you plan to keep this thing assembled at all times. Really helpful to have things in the pocket there. It also comes with the collar that attaches right here on the edge. You put this collar on when they get up there, attach it here, and then they're a lot safer, less likely to jump out. You can adjust it somewhat. It's a nylon collar, pretty safe. You could, of course, keep your own collar, but this makes it so much easier. And then their collar may be dirty, you can take it off and wash it. Whereas this one will stay clean because it's only being used when you're giving a dog or a cat a bath. And then the collar itself is fully adjustable, bigger or larger. And you can leave that hanging there all the time and never have to worry about it. It's fairly deep, but it's not for a large dog. It's for a medium-sized dog and smaller. It goes about to my wrist when it's most of the way full. Of course, you can fill it up much more or much less. Best case uses for this, I feel, are little dogs that get dirty often, or if you're doing a foster care situation and your little puppies and your little kittens are constantly getting dirty, having something like this would be amazing, especially during kitten season. I have yet to have a litter of kittens that did not cover themselves in food from head to toe, and then you have to wash them because they don't have a mom cleaning them up. So having this with about that much water in it and the kittens getting used to the water inside something like this where there's a lot of room and you can keep them safe is such a great idea. But also great use case for any dog that you're going to want to be washing. And then when you're all the way done, it's got the little drain hole right here. You pull the drain hole and then everything just spills out onto the ground. And here is where I mentioned using this so that it doesn't just spill out into your driveway if you prefer. It connects right here very easily. And then when you open the spigot, it goes into this, and so you can stretch it out, and I'll demonstrate. Easy peasy. And you can always turn it off if you prefer to let it drain another way. Then when you're all the way done, the whole thing collapses, so you can store it wherever you want. One thing I noticed really quickly was that you kind of have to babysit when you're trying to drain it. Otherwise, it'll just close right back up and you'll come out hours later thinking you can put it away and it never drains. So babysit it just a little bit and it'll be just fine. A little annoying, but it drains very, very quickly. This is my cat Percy, and he is about the size of a small dog, like a bulldog, a pug. He's bigger than a chihuahua. He's about slightly smaller than a corgi, so you can see he has plenty of room with ample room to spare. Now, I did let the water out because I didn't want to scare him, but he has been known to take a bath and also jump into the bathtub and the sink. So he doesn't hate water, but I didn't want him to be scared while I demonstrate this for you. If you have a bigger dog than Percy, there is still plenty of room. If you have a very large dog like this one, I'll just show a picture of my dog here, way too small for them. It can take up to a medium-sized dog, so plenty of room here. And then you can even give your pet something like this while you're trying to wash them if they're not used to being washed in tubs. Doesn't have to be a lick 'em stick, though cats do love these things. This is the Temptations, and they go nuts for this. So he's plenty of room here. He's in no danger whatsoever of falling out of this. Do you want to eat the rest of it? It's everywhere. And now he's even starting to explore it. So sometimes if you want to use this for a cat, sometimes what you need to do is get them acclimated to it slowly over time. If it's a dog, dogs are much more readily taking to these kinds of things. And then I brought the shampoo out so I could show you how it just goes right inside of there. Oh, don't lick that off of there. Look, it's everywhere. Now I'm going to get you out of here and I'm covered in grossness. And now we're going to put it away and show you that it's really easy to pack up when you're all the way done. You don't have to disassemble the entire thing. You literally just pull up on the middle strap.
This needs to have some bend in it before you can do that. So lift this up with your foot.
Okay, demonstrate it from the get-go.
While this is straight, you can pull up on this. Nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing happens. So step one is pull up on the middle section, loosen it, and pull up on the middle part. And there you go. You don't have to take your shampoos out. You don't have to take the boards off. You have it completely ready to be stored in a garage or underneath a carport or wherever you keep your dog supplies.
It's not that heavy.
Now, it does take up some space when folded, so you do need to find a place that has room for it in your area where you're going to keep it. You could also transport it pretty easily. It would fit inside my SUV very easily. It's not going to take up so much room that you couldn't put it into the back of an SUV or a van or something of that nature. Probably too big to fit inside a compact car like the one we have right there. Altogether, pretty handy to have if you like to bathe your pets at home and have been struggling for a method. This is exactly what I've wanted, is a little tub to put them in, big enough where I'm not bending over, hurting my back. I hope that helps if you're in the market for a dog bath. I think this is the best of all the worlds. Easy to disassemble without having to take everything apart. Pull it out only when you need it. Fill it up quickly, fold it away quickly, and fits most size dogs except for the super large ones. And because it's adjustable, it'll fit if you're a little bit taller, if you're a little bit shorter, not gonna break your back having to bend over like if you had a doggy wading pool in the backyard. I think this fits a lot of use cases. And then plus you have the extra benefit of it. It feels like a fancy setup with the tub and the way to have your pockets with your shampoos in them and the little boards. And it's just a lot of fun. I really do like it. So hope that answered all your questions and that helped you make a wise buying decision. Percy, say bye. Say bye, Percy.